What is up, everybody? My name is Hector Flores, host of the Insert Name FC podcast, a member of the Belly of Sports Media Network. You can find us on all things podcasting, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix from. At Insert Name FC, you'll find us there. There's also a video version of this podcast, which is available on Belly Up's YouTube channel. Just search Belly Up Sports on YouTube, and you'll find us there. We also break these episodes down into shorter videos, which is available on Insert Name FC's YouTube channel. So please subscribe as well over there. And follow us on social media on Instagram, X, Facebook at Insert Name FC, where you can find us post stuff regularly over there as well. So a quick update on Goals TV. Goals is actually the website is no longer, and it's because they're going in a new direction. It is not over for Goals, so don't worry. They're focused more on the content creation side of things, so that is where they're gonna have their focus on. So you can still subscribe, Goals TV, GOZ.TV. Follow them on YouTube. Subscribe to them. They're trying to get to 10K. Go ahead and give them some support. You will find me there from time to time, especially in their show Wake Up MLS. So check it out. All the great stuff that they're doing over there, man, because it's awesome. But yeah, this episode. So as of right now, all the national teams are qualified for the World Cup. We know who is in the World Cup and who are playing for that final spots in the World Cup. So me and Edward, we're going to go ahead and break down the World Cup the nations that have already qualified for the World Cup and the nations that are going into those play-ins as well. So we'll break it down just so you guys know in case you weren't entirely sure of it. Obviously, U.S. men's national team international break did happen a while back, but now we're going to sit down, and it's just going to be me and just digest the entire U.S. men's national team November camp. So very positive camp, by the way. MLS Cup Playoffs, as a matter of fact, as I'm recording this, the final playoff game, San Diego FC versus Minnesota United, is going to be played. So hopefully I'll have that already done by the time before I go to bed, because it's going to be a lot of editing today just to meet the deadlines, you know what I mean? But and then, of course, Liga MX, the playing round is over, so now we're going into the quarterfinals of Liga MX. So we'll explain kind of how that playoff format goes, give you guys players of the week and games to watch for this weekend, and then that's basically it, the episode, man. So before we get to it, I have to say it, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you guys spend a wonderful time with your family, enjoy your time with friends, get nice and full off of some great food. And I hope it's a good Thanksgiving. It is a holiday here in the United States that does get overlooked a lot. You know, obviously, Halloween's a big one, and then people are already wanting to get ready for Christmas, so respectively so. But, you know, Thanksgiving is still a pretty good holiday. Look, I'm not going to get into the politics of the origin of Thanksgiving, but the meaning of Thanksgiving, which is being with family, is still pretty cool and important. So, with all that being said, I am very grateful and thankful for everyone that has given Insert Name FC the light of day, giving us some love, giving us some support. Also update the Football Content Awards. Obviously, we did not win anything, but congratulations to all the winners who did win the Football Content Awards, who did come out with some prizes. Congratulations to everybody, and hopefully we get featured again, and maybe next time we come out with some silverware. But it was really cool to see all that happened there. Maybe next year we can maneuver some funding, and maybe we actually go to England for the award show. But still, awesome experience. Congratulations to all the guys that won. But yeah, very thankful for them as well. You know, that was a really cool experience just to be nominated in general for an award for the Football Content Awards. But yeah, so with all that being said, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And then we'll take a break and go right into World Cup qualifications with Edward Robles. Let me tell you guys about Belly Up Sports. Belly Up Sports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. Belly Up Sports is the premier, not your average website. All right, guys. Edward's back, of course. And before we get to our topic, Edward, my hill to stand on for this time, because obviously we always do a hill to stand on, and it's my turn when you're on here. And my hill to stand on is, I don't know why people are so defensive of like the teams they support.
Really? I mean, I guess I'm in the same hill you stand on.
Like, I mean, who cares?
Because
At that point, at this point, who cares? Like, I mean, and I mean, I do care, but I mean, like I get why people say, "Oh, it's weird that you're from a different city, but you support a team from that's not even within your city." Like, for instance, people that live in Texas that like the New York Yankees for some weird reason.
some,
Like,
just a little, I guess, point of reference would be the fact that maybe some New Yorkers decided to come over. They ended up moving here,
no, there's
and
I'm talking about people that just have no connection to the city of New York.
I mean, the only, I don't see why to be so defensive for that
I
team.
frankly don't care. Like, if you're a fan of the team, you're a fan of the team. Like, I don't like like for some, like, it's one of those things, like, I don't know why people are so caught up in that. Like, how are you gonna support this team if you're not even from there? Like, and I obviously, if you guys know, in the United States, there's tend to be a lot of people that are fans of like these main big teams, which are obviously the Yankees is like the most successful team in Major League Baseball's history. The Los Angeles Lakers is another team that a lot of people tend to be fans of. The Dallas Cowboys, because of
Oh, dude,
their
well,
success that they had in the '90s.
that here's the deal with that. So I can actually answer that one because I do know people from Houston that are like diehard Cowboys fans even after the Texans came through. The reason being was after the Oilers moved
Well,
to
I respect those people. Like the people that are like, no, well, I'm still gonna be a Cowboys fan. Like at this point, they've been supporting the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't anticipate anybody to make a switch. I mean, there's people that did do that, but I mean, like, I like that's not what I mean. I mean, like, someone that has absolute no connection. Like, people from Texas, I don't blame them for liking the Dallas Cowboys.
okay.
It's the person that's from New York that likes the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm catching on. I'm catching on.
So,
Took me a minute.
and I'm not here to say I'm judging you, because I can't say anything. I'm a Madrista and I've never stepped foot in Madrid. So, like, and Edward's
And I'm
case.
Barcelona, and I'm in the same boat.
So yeah, so like, I think for me it's not as weird, and like, I don't get why people like feel the need to defend themselves for their fandom. Like, oh, well, it's because of this, blah blah blah. Like, all right, you like a team because you like a team. Like,
Yeah,
it's perfectly fine. Like, I like the Lakers because of Kobe Bryant.
yeah,
Like,
same.
I'm a terrible Lakers fan, by the way. But
Yep.
that's why I like the Lakers. I don't really support them really well because, to be honest, I really don't care about basketball. But and then, but I never really had felt that people needed to explain themselves why they're fans of certain teams. Like, prime example, Jared from the corner booth. He likes the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I
Some
mean,
some
dude, I'll be
and
honest.
he's from
Look,
Connecticut.
back in the day when I was a kid, dude, I was a big Timberwolves fan, but no reason whatsoever, no player, none other championships if they even won the championships back then. I legit just liked it because of the logo. The logo was fucking sick with the
The cool.
wolves between the yeah, with
Yeah.
the wolf with like half of a face kind of shadowed out and then the other face grayed and then it had like the little trees on the side like the forest and then just the timber wolves at the bottom. Bro, I thought that was when you're a kid and you see an animal like that, like dude, the old school
Oh,
Rockets emblem, dog, I'm still a big fan of that one.
oh,
The
I
smiling
hate that
rocket,
logo.
the smiling rocket,
I hate that
dog
logo. I
like
hate that
the yellow
logo.
ball, I was like, okay, cool, I like it. And then when they went to the rocket, I was like, ooh, I was like, I like it a lot. And then I was just like I said, being a kid, you tend to gravitate to the animal. Same thing
Also,
with the
also,
Raptors. Same thing with the
the
Raptors.
Raptors was awesome. Also,
That
the
that
Grizzlies, the old school
the,
Grizzlies logo.
yeah, with the Grizzlies holding the basketball, almost like
Yeah,
tearing it apart. Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
awesome.
awesome, awesome, awesome. The only one that I couldn't stay behind was the Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets. I was like, it looked like the Wasp. Like, don't get me wrong, it had the stinger and
I
everything,
think the Wasp
but
is a Hornet. Is
that's
was
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just I wasn't a big fan of it. Maybe it was because of my Pokemon days. Ash, had Caterpie and it turned to Metapod, it turned to Butterfree, and then the evil one was supposed to be
you're
the Beedrill. You know,
you're loyal to the
I was
Butterfree.
loyal to the anime. I was loyal to the anime, and then that's how I managed to do my what you call it? My picking of players, my picking of teams. And funny enough, my kids are the same way. And here's why. Iker says that he goes for Argentina and Japan because of Captain Tsubasa. Because Captain Tsubasa is from Japan, and the player that he likes, oh, he also goes for Brazil because the player that Captain Tsubasa like is Roberto Ongo, which all the Super Campeones fans out there know. That's who inspired Tsubasa to go and become like a professional. And then that's where they met like all these other players, and one of them was like from Argentina, and he was a beast.
Mhm.
So it was like based off of Diego Maradona. So it was like, so yeah, it was, and it's funny because I'm like, man, I was like, I used to do that too, and then I was like, no, Ika's doing that too. I was like, oh man,
That's
Mateo's in his own world, so
that.
he's like, I just like Barcelona because of Lamine Yamal, and I was like, oh okay,
I see. That's the only thing I will not do. I am not going to root for another national team. Uh, do I like players on a different? One, my cheat code, by the way, for kids is if, like, for instance, like, if there's a Barcelona player that I like, shocking. Um, if there's a player that I like that plays for Barcelona, obviously I'm never gonna get their kit because I will never wear a Barcelona kit. But if say they play for like Spain or for some other,
you'll
I'll
get
get their national
international
team.
kit.
Yeah. The only national team kit that I will never wear is either another Central American nation, obviously, and Mexico. That's
Ne-
the only places I like.
Bro,
You will never see me wear a Guatemala kit. You're never see me wear
I
a Honduras kit.
I had to wear the Mexico like the multicolored Aztec
Well,
Mayan looking thing.
you're a dad. You're a dad to Mexican kids. So I think
No,
like,
no, but I had to wear it because of the team, not because of my kids. And then my kids actually, they just
oh, you're indoor. The team you played for,
the
that's
yeah,
what they get.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that
that they had.
I feel like that's like an exception to the rule because I mean like I know sometimes like I mean one of the seasons that we played we had to wear PSG kits.
Oh yeah.
So I mean take it for what it is. So that one that's like an exception to the rule. But I mean like you buying this kit that you want like that's what I mean. So like
Oh,
because I
okay.
mean obviously I have Argentina kits, I have Uruguay kits, I have Colombia kits. I mean am I from that region? No. But like I said, but as far as nationalities go, like that one, I'm like, nah, I'm USA and El Salvador because, well, unfortunately, those are where we're from. So,
Well, not unfortunately, it's just the soccer program there just sucks balls.
but USA did look pretty good in their recent calls. So they're not gonna win the World Cup, but at least maybe there's some fight in there. But yeah, El Salvador was just full depression. That was I don't know, man. It's the hope that kills you at that point. But my whole thing is like you guys. I feel that, especially I guess like for me and Edward, being that we're fans of other of clubs that we're not from. We've never stepped foot in the stadium, things like that. But prime example, I just went to an Arsenal bar in Houston to go watch Arsenal beat the living shit out of Tottenham because fuck you, Tottenham. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. Um, and it was at
That's
best
that's
I
our
don't
new
like.
that's our new that's the new podcast slogan. I'm sorry for cussing, Kelsey.
It's also a shirt. Uh, yeah, so like I went, literally, I'm wearing my Arsenal kit right now. Went to the bar, enjoyed it. We were singing the Arsenal songs. Obviously, what do we think of Tottenham? That one, of course. But like, chanting Arsenal after every goal. By the way, it was a 4-1 win. Um, yeah. So, but there's like I keep pointing. This goes back to like my argument. Like the U.S. is in fact a football nation. It's just not Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
Like prime example, Edward is someone that doesn't necessarily care too much for Major League Soccer, but he obviously clearly loves the sport. So like I do think that there's a good majority of people that are from here that maybe like football or soccer, and when it comes to Major League Soccer or maybe even the national team, they really don't care about them. They rather support other things.
Yeah.
So, which I get it, but that's a whole other issue for another day. But my whole hill to stand on is like who you like. Like like you don't have to like your local market. It makes sense if you like your local market, but you don't have to like your local. I'm not a Rockets fan. I've Everyone knows that. I've never once said I'm a Houston Rockets fan. I worked there. They paid me.
Yeah.
They paid for my loyalty. But I never once said I was a Rockets fan. Was I excited when we were going when the Rockets was going? And I said we at that point when the Rockets were going
You were
far
working.
when they made it to the Western Conference Finals. Yep. You know why? Because I was still getting a paycheck,
At that time, you're like, I'm still getting a paycheck.
still on the payroll.
This dude.
So like for that person that's like, oh, I live in LA, but I like the Dallas Cowboys. Like, don't feel like that's weird. Hell, I know a lot of people from LA that like the Philadelphia Eagles. It's perfectly fine. Like, it's not weird. I think the people that make it weird are actually the weird people in this scenario. Like, one, why do you care?
Yep.
Why does that person liking a team that is not from that local market bother you so much? Like, Coach Joey Swoll, mind your own business. You need to do better.
This dude.
You need to do better. Mind your own business. It's the truth, though. Like, honestly, like, who cares? Like, who cares what the person likes? Like, who cares if I don't like carrots? That's a terrible take, but I do like carrots. I do like carrots. But who cares if I don't like carrots, right? You know, no one should be like offended that I don't like a certain thing, but I prefer celery. Which I actually do like both those things. So, but that's my point. Like, I think we need to stop making a big deal of people that like the other teams and not going against what everybody else thinks you're supposed to like. I mean, and Edward made a good point. Family is usually a good indicator of how you become a fan. Don't know what happened with me. My dad's a Barca fan, and I chose Real Madrid. Um, but family is a good indicator in how you choose your teams. Uh, you know, Maybe you're not originally from your city. So, Edward makes some good points. And it's a family, I think family and friends usually become an influence for you. Or, for Edward's case, a really cool logo will
A
do it.
really cool logo.
Or a player.
Oh yeah. Dino. I mean,
The-
Dino is just that's Dino, man. You
I
can't
mean,
go wrong.
I mean,
Oh,
literally, Edward and I, the way we picked Real Madrid and Barcelona was I liked R9, El Fenomeno, because Edward doesn't like when I say Fat Ronaldo. And and Edward liked Dino. Like that's
yep.
how that was our choose your own
The
adventure.
playing style is basically what we went off of. It's like the playing style, the way they carried themselves on the field. It's like what we went off of. We didn't go off of like, oh, this dude is cocky or whatever or whatever. I personally didn't never went by that. I just love the fact that this dude loved to play, and it looked like he was just having fun, even if he was just chopping people up or he may have lost the ball or may have lost a shot. The free kick. Do you remember the free kick versus America when they were tied
Hmm.
3-3, and that would have been the game deciding goal. And we both were like, dude, this is Ronaldinho's free kick. He kicked it and he knew if he would have scored, it would have been like everybody would have been pissed at him, like from America fans.
And
And he just
it's
smiled
funny.
at the camera. He just smiled and he just like laughed it off. And I
And
was like,
what's funny was this is before I became a Madrista, and I remember watching that game. It was a friendly here in Houston. Obviously,
yeah, it was when it was
we couldn't afford to go, but it was Barcelona playing America, and
yeah.
I remember me, Edward, and his cousin. We were watching the game because it was on television. One of the few times that it is televised. And I remember we were just getting hyped because like America had like a 4-0 lead or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Barcelona was like, okay, let's actually put our starting players.
Yeah, and
Because
they did, and dear Lord, like they just came through.
it was levels.
It was like four. It
Like,
was 4-4, I think, and it was like 4 minutes to the end, and that free kick came through, and me and Hector were both just jumping up and down, talking about like Ronaldinho's gonna make this, Ronaldinho's gonna make this, and then
yeah, at
as
that
soon as
point I
he,
was rooting
as
for
soon
Ronaldinho, so like it
as soon
was
as soon as he ended up just kind of like doing that look, and he just looked and he shot it, and that when he took a step back, that's when I knew I was like, oh, I was like, yeah. he didn't even try. He just laughed it off because he was like, I think he just chunked it because he was like, it's a friendly. He's like, I'm not about to. He knew what he could do. I mean, shoot, he was performing,
Yeah, it was that was
so it was fun.
one hell of a friendly. But yeah, so then yeah, going back to it, who cares? Who cares
Yeah,
what you support? Like what you like. Don't think it's weird. The people that think it's weird are weird. That's my summary for the hill I stand on. But all right, guys, we gotta talk about it because international break did conclude actually a while back, but the stage is set, sort of, for the World Cup. A good chunk of the teams have already qualified. All that's left is just the play-in rounds, and we'll definitely get into that as we go into discussion. But
yeah.
it's crazy how close we are to the World Cup, man. It is, and the best part is it's going to be in our own backyard. Can we afford it? No. Did we win
No,
the? Did we even win the whatever raffle they did so you can buy the tickets? No. I tried.
uh, yeah,
I lost my drawings. So it's very much. But either way, it's cool that the World Cup is here. You know what? Probably a spin zone. I much rather watch it at home, anyways. You know, I could pee at my own at my own preference. Go to the fridge
yeah.
for my drinks or food.
Instead of paying, instead of paying $8, $10 for a beer, maybe
Yeah,
$12 for a beer, you literally could for those $12, you could probably buy a six pack on your own.
exactly. So let me be poor.
It's the little things. It's the little
It's the
things.
little things for sure.
It's the little details, dog. It's like stuff like that. I'm not gonna say like, dude, it would be an awesome experience, but I mean, truth be told, I mean, I had the experience of not even seeing Messi, but it was an awesome gesture. I had the experience to go and watch Tigres versus Inter Miami, which is, it's an experience all on its own.
Hmm.
Like I said, my kids were just, they were like, Daddy, Messi's not there. Hey, look, it's Messi. Oh, that's not Messi. And I'm like, oh, look, it's Messi. No, that's not Messi. Jordi Alba. Kept confusing Jordi Alba for Messi. And I was just like, yeah,
That's
that's not
that's fair.
him.
That's fair though.
They both played in the same team. They both had a beard.
What's funny was despite that, the one thing that at least me and at least Felix also took into enjoyment was the Eagles fans are fun.
Oh yeah, dude, we were not even part of the whole. We're not like us ourselves. We're not big on the whole puto thing, like and. But the thing is, all around, we just heard and as soon as the ball left, puto, we're like, oh, okay. At first, I was like, oh damn, I was like, thought that was outlawed. I thought that was banned or something or whatever. They just kept playing. They just didn't even pay attention to it and shit. And I was just like, okay. By the end of it, we were like, puto. We were all like into it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good time, a good experience for the boys. But
Yeah.
here we are. It is at least the teams are qualified. So we'll go first into the nations that qualify. We'll break them down by confederation, and then we'll go into the teams that still have something to play for in the World Cup. And then obviously me and Eric will share our thoughts about all that. But obviously it makes sense to start things off with CONCACAF just to get it out of the way, because there's three countries that are hosting this World Cup, and it's probably the easiest one to cover. So we'll start things off with CONCACAF. The teams that qualify for the World Cup automatically qualified because they're the hosts is USA, Canada, Mexico. Yeah, there's nothing really much else to say. I will say though, from the friendlies aspect, um, is there a single host nation that you're like, I'm really confident they're gonna go at least somewhat far?
Yep. That's what I'm like.
Definitely not Mexico. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. Bro, seeing Mexicans boo the hell out of this Mexican national team
That
was
is
was
that is
everything I
some.
expected.
You know
I,
what's
I
funny though? You know what's funny though? They're booing them now, and they're gonna be the ones to buy the tickets to go to the games at the Energy Stadium or
actually,
wherever.
actually, and I'm talking about the Mexico fans from Mexico, like when they were in Mexico.
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
talking about the ones that live
Oh, when they
here.
played against
The ones
when they
that
played
live
against
here,
Uruguay,
you
the
are
ones that played
absolutely
against
right.
the
The
ones
ones
that
that
played
against
when they
Uruguay
went
and
to the
Paraguay,
game. Yeah,
because
yeah,
they played it in Mexico, and
yeah.
those fans let it be known that they were not happy.
They were not happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you're absolutely right. The Mexicans that do live here in the United States, they will be flaunting to spend as much money needed to go watch the Mexican national team. should they? And I think that there is a level of criticism from the Mexican fans that are from here in the United States, but Mexico doesn't care. Like the actual, like the people that live in Mexico, like I said, they will let it be known they booed the hell out of them. They booed Malagon,
Oh,
respectively so. But also that because I would argue because what Johan and who's the other center back? I'm not really that well in depth in Mexico, obviously, but Johan Vasquez, and then there's this other guy, Montes, Cesar Montes, I think it is. Like that's clearly the center back pairing for Mexico. Um, eh, I mean, I, I think Uruguay wasn't as bad because obviously it was just a very like lackluster 0-0 draw. So you can give props to the back line for Mexico on that one, but that performance against Paraguay that was rough. Um, but yeah, the fans have been very vocal about Mexico. So if but I do think if you're Mexico, you want to be playing your games in Mexico, right? Like you want to showcase yourselves in front of the Mexican fans, at least I would assume. And obviously, there's a lot of excitement with Gilberto Mora, and Raul Jimenez is going to be there, and I'm sure he's still going to be an X factor in all this. But it has been overwhelming right now in Mexico, playing their matches in Mexico of all places.
yeah. I mean, look, when I first saw the Paraguay game, because I mean, I'm not Paraguay, I'm tripping. The Uruguay game. I was watching more of the Uruguay game.
The no
Uh,
no.
the 0-0, yeah. Um, dude, like the buildup was there. It's just the finishing, like it. And Uruguay, I'm not gonna be honest. I was expecting a lot from Uruguay, but they were not the same Uruguay that you're known to expect. Of course, it was a very physical game. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it was like if Mexico fouled, then Uruguay did the foul, and if Uruguay did a foul, then Mexico would do the foul. Like it was like uh, a TikTok, like I would you give
Mm-hmm.
me a tick, I'll give you a tick. Like I'll
Mm-hmm.
fucking I'll hit you. Sorry for cussing, but um, it was very it was very energetic. Like I can tell you that it was energetic. It was an energetic game. And I'll be honest, the ref had really bad calls. He had really bad calls, missed calls. The ones he did call, I was just like, dude, like this dude here is on something, dog. I was like, yeah. I was like, this dude is. I don't know what's going on, but all in all, it was a very physical game. It's just I feel that both Uruguay and mind you, I think Uruguay wasn't even playing with their starters. Like they were playing with like a few starters here and there, but they were doing like
Because
um
there was Darwin Nunez wasn't there.
but
Valverde
I,
wasn't in the lineup.
I think one thing is since he went to Saudi, I don't want to say that he actually is a starter at the moment.
Yeah, but the other option is I think is Aguirre
Yeah.
who plays for Club America, and I don't
Yeah.
really think he's really playing that much for America. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but uh, that's a whole conversation for another day. I do,
Yeah.
but when you're looking at USA, Canada, and Mexico, I will say like Canada, I'm not entirely sure. Like I haven't really watched many of their games. They did have a good win against I believe it was Venezuela. But like it's been pretty quiet from Canada, which might be a good thing. And then USA, Poch seems to kind of have these guys going as we were hoping for them to look like. Like now there's mentality, this team, there's a culture now in the US locker room. I mean, say what you want, but a 2-1 win against Paraguay and then a 5-1 win. Was it 5-1? Yeah, it was 5-1 against Uruguay. And that was with majority MLS guys. You know,
Yeah.
especially after the whole Bielsa comment about that MLS make players lazy, which that's he's never gonna let no one's gonna let that go for him. Um, but I'm not saying like I'm the most confident in the U.S. Obviously, like I think they're getting hot at the right time, which is good. Canada is interesting. I kind of don't ever underestimate Jesse Marsh. Mexico, I think will it tried and true. They'll come up big, but right now there's just a lot of questions. In Mexico, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of questions with all three of these teams. So like none of these teams are perfect. We are talking about CONCACAF nations, but yeah, like I mean, if I had to pick out of the three, I think the way the U.S. have been playing, and I think Poch has won everybody over now. And I think that if I had to pick which one will go further in the World Cup, I don't want to be bullish, but I think I'm going to say the U.S. right now. It might change though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with you on that because, like, I personally haven't seen Canada. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not good or anything. It just I personally haven't seen them,
And I believe
and
Alfonso Davies is still injured or is probably still is about to recover.
yeah,
So not that he's the only guy on the team, but still. And like I said, Mexico, they're like say what you want about Mexico winning the Gold Cup. Say what you want about Mexico winning the Nations League. They have done that because they're good at competing in CONCACAF. They're really good at World Cups. I know they're really good at punching above their weight. I'm not saying that they don't. But just because of the success that they had in Gold Cup and Nations League does not dictate that this team still has a lot of problems with them. And I've said that plenty of times. Like this team isn't perfect by any means. I've said that this is like USA and Mexico are very much the Spider-Man meme. Like you can point the same issues at each other. Like both teams are very much not perfect. So like I don't want to take that away as if like USA is better than Mexico because like there's still questions with the US, but Mexico, even though they've gotten results, which is winning trophies, it kind of becomes irrelevant because they still have problems. Which I will say, if you're winning stuff and having all these problems, imagine what happens when you get your stuff together.
yeah, right.
So before any Mexican fan gets mad at me, so but yeah, so that those are the three teams that qualified automatically because of hosting duties. The other three Concacaf nations that got automatically qualified into the World Cup is Curacao, who is officially now the smallest nation to qualify for the World Cup, Haiti, and Panama. Only one Central American nation was able to come qualify for the World Cup.
Oh, dude, no, that was heartbreaking though. I'm gonna be honest. The Guatemala, the chance that they had and they almost did it. Like that was a nitty
Eh,
gritty game.
Nah, I'm fine with
Like,
I'm fine with them not qualifying. Um,
damn.
Look, there's only one Central American country that I wanted, and you knew that there was gonna be waterworks. Like if you thought I cried at my niece's quinceañera, bro, you weren't ready. And it was
I don't
worse.
I don't even know.
They were first place at the first round of
Oh
this.
yeah,
Well,
they were. They
they beat
were.
Guatemala in Guatemala. You're like, oh, this is different. They're finally gonna play Nathan Ordaz. They're gonna finally play the kids. No, they benched him
No, they benched
afterwards.
the kids. They benched the kids, and then they went ahead and just
So
started
what if
doing the
they can't
same
sing the
crap.
national anthem?
Right? What if they can't understand half of the words you're saying?
so
What if
what
what if
if
the
so
what if they
what if
don't
they
under,
can't speak Spanish?
so what if they don't understand what cipote means? It's okay.
Okay, Nathan Ordaz doesn't know what chele meant. So I mean, like, let the let the kid play.
Right?
He knows one language, the ball.
Yeah. He knows the language that matters on the field. God dang it.
It's but also fun fact, Guatemala also had a similar issue.
Yeah, they
So,
did.
they played the young kids. Why? I'm sorry, but I am tired of seeing Darwin set in on the starting lineup. I'm
Bro, he's still
tired.
playing. I thought he was already retired.
No, he's still playing. He's still
Thought after the
playing.
whole after I thought after the whole Dynamo stint and him going back to El Salvador, I thought he was like not gonna be called up no more.
Nope. Still, apparently he's still the best player in El Salvador, which I think that's a farce. No, he's
That's so
good.
sad.
He's good, but the best is kind of a stretch. Okay, I might have given it to there's a the Enrique. I think
Oh yeah, Henrique, yeah.
I give it to him. Shoot, I even actually technically Gil. I would give it to Gil honestly. But oh my, yeah, it was frustrating. Um, but yeah, but man, Curacao, I will say, if you guys haven't been watching Gold Cups, if you haven't really been watching anything Concacaf, and I don't blame you, but if you've been watching CONCACAF, you have no have you you've seen the progression with Curacao. Like they have gotten better and better, and one of their fair advantages that they have is that they are a Dutch nation. So I mean, the hypocrisy of all this, but well, I can't say anything because El Salvador does it too. But if you're a Dutch player, have connections to Curacao, you're not gonna You're not gonna make it to the Dutch national team. Why not play for Curacao?
Yeah, true.
Just a thought.
I mean, yeah, it's just, oh man. I mean, I'm in the same boat
Which,
as you.
which a
Like,
lot of these guys are in fact from the Dutch system. And
yep,
like I said, they weren't quote unquote good enough to play for the Dutch, so they're just an effort. Let's play for Curacao. So
yep,
it happens.
and
I mean, it's like Jamaica and England. So
yep.
like it's not shocking. Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast here to tell you guys about candidates. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Candidate CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BELLYUP20 at CanadiveCBD.com. Once again, BELLYUP20 at CanadiveCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadives for being a great partner of Belly Up Sports. But Panama is the representation for Central America, so I will be pulling for him. Also, because I got to pull for Coca Karaski. There's no way I can't. The guy is just too lovable. But yeah, so that's CONCACAF. I mean, obviously, we kind of already said our biggest disappointment is it's El Salvador. So
Yep.
we don't have to go any further with that one. AFC, the Asian Football Confederation, we have Japan, shocking. Uzbekistan, that's interesting.
That's a shock for real.
Led by Fabio Cannavaro, manager
Mm.
manager of Uzbekistan. So interesting. South Korea, Jordan, Australia, and Qatar. Fun fact: Australia is technically part of Asia, not Oceania. They wanted more competition, so they moved up to the Asian Football Confederation. And I'll just
I
throw
mean, that,
I'll throw New Zealand in there as well for Oceania, just so because that's just one nation.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, um,
Wait, wouldn't New Zealand and Australia kind of be in the same vicinity?
yeah, but Australia moved over to the Asian Football Confederation after, like, once again, they just felt they needed better competition, so then that's when they moved to Asia.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
And they still made it, so hey, that's a good sign.
yeah, they're Australia's very good. Which, I mean, if you're New Zealand, I guess you're happy because now you're qualifying for the World Cup every year. So
Yeah.
at least there's that. As far as like any real misses for me,
China.
China, maybe China, but uh, I don't know. They didn't weren't in the last World Cup either. But I mean, I think this is not a pretty good. Jordan is actually really pretty good. Actually, watched a few
Yeah.
games of them. Uzbekistan, I'm really intrigued. That's the team I'm gonna be watching, like for sure. Definitely. Like no.
Dude, the players, like I'm gonna be honest, the region players from Uzbekistan, like the ones from FIFA, dude, they're crazy good. Like they have pace up to 90, maybe
Mm-hmm.
higher. And then like their speed, it's crazy, dude. I'm like, and then their strength, if you got like a main striker, but like a tall dude, his strength and his aerial is crazy. I'm just like, who are these guys? Who are these kids? I'm like, they're made up and everything,
We're
but
about to find out this summer is what's gonna happen. But yeah, so Asia, Oceania, I think that I have real no issues. I don't know about any nations. Maybe I'm not that familiar with Asia, so I can't really tell you about like the nations we're missing out on. I mean, Iran probably is a big one.
yeah.
Iran's probably a big one. Okay, so me being obviously like with Goals TV and all my relationships there, Xiao Yan, who is a Seattle Sounders content creator, but also does a lot of content with Iran, because he's Iranian. He has gone within his days to complain about everything that's wrong with Iran. So maybe respectively so they didn't qualify, but that's right now Asia and Oceania. In CONMEBOL we have Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Colombia. Chile once again. They can't qualify.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Also, we'll probably talk about them when we talk about the playing teams, but Bolivia still has a shot here.
Oh, really?
Bolivia still has a chance here. So imagine being, imagine who was it? Peru's not in here because there's only two. There's only 10 CONMEBOL teams. So Peru's not there. Obviously Chile. Let me see. What am I missing? Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador. So that's six. Wow, that's a lot of. That's like 60% of your confederation. Um, Bolivia's in a play-in. Who am I missing? I feel like there's a really big Venezuela. Ah,
Oh, Venezuela, yeah.
oh yeah, that's very disappointing. Because like Venezuela look like they've been getting better and better, but I guess not so much. I mean, it's hard. Going to bowl is so hard.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah. But I mean,
I mean, when you got countries like Brazil, Argentina, Colombia,
and Ecuador
um,
getting so much better.
Ecuador, yeah, they got better too. So it's like you gotta like even like for example, like Peru. Remember, it used to be a gangbanger with
Oh,
Ruiz Diaz being at the number nine,
frisky team.
and then you also had like a little scrappy Bolivia too. So it's
Hmm.
like Venezuela, it's like they used to be good too. It's just man, it's hard, dude. It's hard.
No, you're absolutely right. So that's CONMEBOL, CAF, Africa. We have Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt. By the way, I'm kind of saying them in the order that they qualified. By the way, um, yeah, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Algeria, Ghana, Cape Verde, South Africa, Senegal, and the Ivory Coast are the teams that qualified automatically. Obviously, there's a few more countries that I believe are coming from Africa that, or I think maybe just one, that is to get a chance to qualify for the World Cup. But I mean Nigeria is probably the biggest loss, and mainly because if from Houston perspective, we there's a lot of Nigerians that live here in Houston, but also like we get to miss out on some really cool kids because Nigeria usually lately has had some really nice kids come their way. But I mean, I don't, Gabon is another big loss. Man, dude, can you imagine like just getting to witness how awesome Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is, and Duke can't be in one World Cup?
Dude, yes.
Like I get it that Gabon is probably like a big of a reach for to qualify. They were close. They were really close, but like it's such a bummer. Not only for Aubameyang, but also Denny Bouanga. If you guys watch MLS, Denny Bouanga plays for LAFC. Like it, those two guys are like. I wish we can see them in the big stage, man. Like, do I expect Gabon to win? Probably not. But I mean, like, it still would be It's must watch TV when Aubameyang is on the field.
Yeah, dude, I still remember like he is by far one of the most creative strikers that's like a not number nine. Like to make be able to dribble himself out of trouble. He wouldn't have to go and rely on the wings. Like I think it was like the agility that he had. He was able to just get himself out of trouble and then also pass the ball when he needed to.
Hmm.
But it was like he was still like a un nato numero nueve. And then it was just like the fact that he was just so like creative with his skill around with the ball. I feel like that's because I'll be honest, Eto'o, he's just a straight up number nine. Like he
Hmm.
was not like fancy dribbler. It was just tick tock between his legs, try to go
Hmm.
around, and that's it. Um, Aubameyang, like kind of like yeah, he's more of a here. Let me go ahead and do a little fancy, a little Brazil. Let me go a little Brazilian on these boys kind of style.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy. It's just crazy. And also, you mentioned Samuel Eto'o. I mean, no Cameroon also.
Yeah, that's also
So
another one.
that's another big loss. But hey, and it's crazy because no one can, people can complain all they want, but this is an expanded World Cup. If you missed out on the expanded World Cup, like that's just even more egregious. At least for your confederate, your national team, like you have like extra spots now to for qualification, and like you still
Yeah.
miss out. So that says a lot, man. That says more about your national team more than it says about FIFA. And then the final one is UEFA, of course. Save the I don't want to say save the best for last, but
Save the more competitive, to be honest, for last. Because I'm not trying to say
more
that the
the
other
more
leagues or the other,
insane qualifier. Like it is,
yeah,
it's so many
it's
teams.
so many teams.
Props to, and I'm sure Deadball TV is like just watching every bit of it. I wish I could be like that. I'm not. But all right, for UEFA we have England, France, Croatia, Portugal, Norway, Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Belgium, Scotland, Spain, and Switzerland. Erling Haaland is in
Oh,
the World
dude,
Cup.
Erling
Erling
Haaland,
Haaland is in the
Hey,
World Cup.
Erling Haaland and Mbappe both qualified in the same, World Cup. So if the match comes to that was technically the big up and coming Messi Ronaldo kind of
hmm
rivalry. So we'll see. We'll wait and see.
Do you sprinkle in a Lamine Yamal there?
Oh yeah. You have to now. Like that's the thing. You have to. You have to. And
Sprinkle in a
that's
Lamine
the sad
Yamal, Xavi Simmons.
yeah, and that's the sad part though. Like, it's not a because it's Barcelona, Real Madrid, everybody's more of like, oh, Mbappe versus Lamar. I was like, dude, don't forget Erling Haaland, that dude there.
That dude's
Fucking, he's still to this day the cyborg.
yeah.
Like,
Uh, I don't know if you feel that there's any disappointing misses here on this one. Um, potentially, potentially there might be a very significant miss if this doesn't happen, and so I don't want to go. Is there another nation that you're thinking of? But I mean, there's like a lot of teams that in Europe that still have a shot. So I think that maybe we'll
well,
get to disappointments more, maybe when we get to
well,
there.
that's the thing. It's like, isn't Italy again not going into the World Cup
That's a maybe. It's there's still something.
in contention?
There's still a chance, which probably a perfect segue Edward, for the play-in round. So there is two groups of play-in games, play-in matches that are happening. There is the non-UEFA. The way I'm wording it is the non-UEFA one and the UEFA one. Because UEFA essentially is what I meant. It's all the UEFA nations that were kind of like runner-ups that like just scraped into this pathway that they have like four pathways A, B, C, and D, and then you have the non-UEFA that just has two pathways essentially, and that is everybody else that's not UEFA that's in it. So you want to go UEFA first or non-UEFA first?
Let's go non-UEFA. Let's go
All right.
non-UEFA.
All right. So the teams that are in this one for the non-UEFA from CONCACAF, we have Jamaica and Suriname, the other Dutch nation that I mentioned earlier. In the Asian Football Confederation, we have Iraq. They beat, I think, United Arab Emirates to qualify here. How I pulled out of my ass, I have no idea. Uh, from Oceania, we have New Caledonia, which I believe they beat Tahiti to qualify here. And then CONMEBOL, we have Bolivia because they were the seventh place team. And then from Africa, we have the Democratic Republic of Congo, which I hope that they qualify because I just want to keep saying Congo throughout the World Cup
Why,
previews.
why do I feel like if you say that like Congo and then you just hear the like a Donkey Kong kind of beat,
Like some war drums.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just saying Congo. This is like my Macedonia for the Euros when we were covering that. Like, but all right. So there's two I guess two pathways. I like using UEFA's references. So there's two pathways. The semifinal will be played March 26th, and the final will be March 31st. So literally the next round of international break, that's when we'll have these matches be played. So, which I believe the drawing is I think sometime next month. Don't quote me. Um, the first semifinal is New Caledonia taking on Jamaica. And the way they put this together is through, I believe, their World Cup their FIFA rankings. So the teams that are automatically into the final for Path 1 is Congo, and for Path 2 it's Iraq. So just so you guys have a frame of reference. And so semifinal 1 is New Caledonia versus Jamaica, and semifinal number 2 is Bolivia versus Suriname. And then, like I said, the winner of New Caledonia and Jamaica will take on Congo, and the winner of Bolivia Suriname will take on Iraq. So that's how they're doing it for the non-UEFA teams. Am I gonna try to pick a favorite? No, but I'm actually technically I have a favorite. You guys already heard it. It's Congo. So that was definitely not racist in any means. So
No, I love it, dude. What are you
all
talking
right,
about, man?
all right. But that is the non-UEFA teams. Now UEFA, they really have to do this. All right.
They really have to do this.
The teams that are in for the play in, I guess, is Italy, Denmark, Turkey, Ukraine, Poland, Wales, Czechia, Czech Republic, for those who don't know, Slovakia, Ireland, Albania, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Kosovo, Romania.
Herzegovia.
Herze- what?
Herzegovia.
That's in That's if you were to say it in Spanish.
I know,
Uh,
but still.
Kosovo, Romania, Sweden, North Macedonia. So you guys know who I'm rooting for, and Northern Ireland. So the semifinals similar to the other ones, March 26th and March 31st. So just same thing. All right, pathway A is the semifinal matchups are Northern Ireland, Italy versus Northern Ireland, and Wales versus Bosnia Herzegovina. Um, so Italy still has a shot to qualify for the World Cup. It would be hilarious if they miss it again, though.
I don't think it would be hilarious. It'd be more of a sad nature because you expect them to make it. Because I mean, they're a top team. They're
That's
a
what
top team. It's just that squad's not there. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know what's wrong with it, and it's funny of all things, it's Gattuso that's running this team right now. So
Uh,
I was like, I love this guy. But yeah, so that's pathway A. Pathway B is Ukraine, and if you guys didn't realize, they play the winner of those two semifinals. I'm sorry if I didn't explain that well. In pathway B, you have Ukraine versus Sweden and Poland versus Albania. So those are the teams in pathway B. The matchups for pathway C is Turkey, or Turkey A apparently, versus Romania, and Slovakia versus Kosovo. And then the final one is Denmark versus North Macedonia, and Czechia versus Ireland. Then obviously the finals will be played March 31st to decide who would be those final teams in the World Cup. I do believe the drawing is going to have happened already. So we'll probably, like, once these round of matches have been played, we'll probably then look at like the groups and all that after that, because I don't want to be like, oh, the winner of this region or this pathway. I don't want to do all that again. So because we did that for that 2022 World Cup, and I'm not trying to do that again. But obviously, like I said, I'm pulling for North Macedonia. I think that would be hilarious. But then again, they're playing Denmark, so I don't like their odds on that one. But hey, they're scrappy. They have been interesting in last times we've watched this team, this national team.
what was that dude's name? Sir. What was that dude? The Dane. What's his name?
Oh,
Sir.
your favorite Danish player,
Who is it?
Braithwaite,
Bryce with.
the all time Barcelona striker.
Oh God, no, no, not him. No, no, not him. Oh, who am I?
Your
Who
your
am I
number
thinking
your,
of?
your number
No, no,
nine,
no, 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 no. Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of?
Christian Eriksen.
Lord Bettner.
Oh, Bedner. Yeah, he's from Denmark. That dude's definitely retired. I
Yeah,
hope he's retired.
Lord Bettner. Come on, dog.
No keeper has kept the clean sheet whenever Bedner scores on them. This is my favorite fun my favorite fun fact.
Fun fact. It's like a Chuck Norris, like a Chuck
That's
Norris fact.
literally the Lord Bedner jokes, man.
Yeah.
We need a Lord Bedner again, man. We really do.
I hate to be that guy, but technically we did have him. Uh, but as a manager, when we had old Gunner,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he was the jokes. Like he wasn't the butt of a joke, but it was like he was the joke. Like that's the thing. It's like he was so he always looks so happy, so peppy and everything. And it's so funny because like watching the David Beckham documentary and then hearing him talk about him, he was just like he's the same way as a coach. Like it's the same. He
It,
does
it,
not change at
it,
all. Even
it's infectious, man. I actually believe he's the Norwegian coach. Actually, I could be wrong. I know.
oh
Well, no,
man,
no,
dude,
he got fired by Benfica, so I don't know. He might not have a job right now. But yeah, no, that guy, I'm pulling for. Come to the MLS. Let's coach an MLS team together, and we'll do something here. We believe in you.
bro. Honestly, if he was to coach an MLS team, I'm pretty sure David Beckham would hire him because they were old teammates. Think about it.
Yeah, but that would mean that he would have to fire Mascherano, which I believe that's definitely a messy hire.
Oh,
So
that's what I'm saying. Oh, you know what? He'll probably be like, you can coach the youth. You can
coach,
coach the youth.
you want to coach a Messi?
Yeah, right.
You want to
Coach
coach?
A Messi.
You don't get to coach the Messi, but you get to coach his son.
Nah, who was the one that I saw that they said, oh man, like he's coming out to be like he's doing dribbles like his dad.
Tiago.
Uh, was it Thiago or was
Yeah,
it
Tiago's his oldest, I believe.
oh okay. No, but
Which, which,
it
which
wasn't the oldest. I think it was the second
the
oldest.
the dumbest TikTok of all time. You would not believe what national team Messi's kid wants to play for. Argentina. He wants to play for Argentina. Why?
Yeah.
In what world is he gonna pick another country? It's
And
like,
what world is he gonna pick? He might pick Spain. He might pick Spain.
yeah, but you know he was raised Argentine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not that big of a difference between Spanish and
I mean,
Argentine.
if he's like, if you see him drinking mate like randomly and he at like 11, 12 years old, whatever,
Bro, if he's 12 years old drinking mate, like
that's Argentina.
what are we doing? Like,
What are
what
we
are we,
feeding our kids?
bro?
No more Oreos for
You
you guys. You're
you
drinking mate.
you don't need energy, child. You are energy. It's like,
No, like that's the thing. It's like giving the kids mate. You know what I mean? Like that would be hilarious and
I've
all
I've
point.
I've seen
You know what? No more
I've
Capri Sun. No more Capri Sun for my kids. They're drinking mate from now on,
I,
Hector.
I've literally seen academy players drinking mate, and it's funny because they don't like it. It's
Yeah,
like,
dude, I love it. Like, I love it,
well,
straight up.
it's an acquired
I love
taste.
it.
It's very much an acquired taste. Like I took a few sips of it, thought it was just terrible. But as I kept one, you're drinking scorching hot water. But
Yes.
but
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
burn your tongue, but still,
but
it's so good. It wakes you up. It wakes you up.
it definitely does. But yeah, the thing for me, the only thing I don't like about mate is that you have to just you have your little cup, but then you have to keep that thermal with you around at all
A
times.
thermos.
Like
Yeah,
you're just there with just two things in your hands, unless you have like that cool thermos that you can just strap on, like just like as a sling on your back. But it just looks ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. And it has been an interesting craze all of a sudden now that everybody is like, we gotta get our mate. But and someone's like, oh, but they have it in a can. It's not the same.
it's not the
It's
same. You
not
gotta
the
get,
same.
you gotta get it. You gotta get it in the bag. You gotta get it in the bag.
But now we know
Well,
If we ever see
because
Tiago Messi or the other, what's his other son's name? I don't want to be creepy.
is it
Uh,
is it is it is it Nicholas? Is it
well, the Messi boys. That sounds even worse. the the sons of
the way?
the sons of Messi.
Basically, you're making it seem like these kids can't eat. They can't eat. Like if you take them to a restaurant, they can't be seen because it's like they're messy.
or
But
or or
it's
or hide your daughters. Here comes the Messi boys.
oh my Lord.
No, I don't think Messi would ever raise his kids like that.
Oh my God, dude, that is insane. Can't believe you did that.
Hide your daughters. There comes the Messi boys. Okay,
Ooh.
okay. I'm gonna stop using Messi boys. The sons of Messi. If we ever see them with Mate, they're definitely joining our. I mean, they're for a fact they're gonna get called up by Argentina. The name alone. I mean, it's like that video where like you wouldn't believe what Cristiano Ronaldo's son wants to play for. It's Portugal. He wants to play for Portugal. Why,
Portugal.
why would he? Where else? He
He
does
would
not want.
probably
He
want. He
doesn't
would
want to play for
probably.
the U.S.
No, he doesn't.
I would recruit the hell out of him to try to play for the U.S., but he won't.
Yeah,
And also,
but
I can't really do much to help recruit. So I can maybe make you a funny shirt. I could turn you into a cartoon. Like, that's what I can offer you. I can adopt you. Not for real, but like metaphorically adopt you.
Yeah, metaphorically, metaphorically.
Yeah, there's not much I can do. But yeah, so yeah, World Cup. Obviously, I think we've been talking about the World Cup here in the U.S. for quite some time, but like to now see the teams that the nations that are potentially going to be there. Not full. We don't have the full list yet, but does is it feeling more real for you now?
Mm, yeah, and I feel like it is.
Yeah, same here. It's crazy. We're now literally months away from the World Cup, and I can't wait for it. But all right, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the time for Edward. Um, we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and then go right into the U.S. men's national team because this is gonna be a
Totally
long one.
random. I had to Google it. The young oldest one is Thiago, middle one is Mateo, and the youngest one is Ciro. And Ciro is the one that I was referring to.
Ciro,
Ciro Messi, yeah.
like
It's Ciro, like Ciro Immobile.
oh Chiro.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I don't know.
it's Cheeto. It's Italian, dude. Come on, Cheeto Immobile.
Well, I mean, I'd have to hear how Messi says it.
It's probably Cheeto Immobile. I definitely sound like a douchebag right now saying that.
Be like, se llama Ciro. Be like, no, it's Ciro. Be like, oh, okay.
Sorry. Let me go talk to Messi's cutout at Lowe's and ask him. Actually, I think they took him out and put a CJ Stroud there.
Oh my God, dude, he better perform.
Mm,
I just realized something. I have not put him in yet.
you shouldn't have. They've already played.
Oh, dude.
They played on Thursday.
Oh no, he's out anyways.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. No, that's right. I'm tripping. I have a Bryce Young.
Ooh,
What you mean? What you
I don't.
mean? Well, first off, I had Aaron Rodgers, dude's out.
Yeah.
Then Marcus Mariota, it's his bye. Um, so literally I have no quarterback. And then CJ Stroud out. And then yeah, I had to get rid of Jaden Daniels because that dude's out and he's
No,
not coming back anytime soon.
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
So all my quarterbacks, dude, all the quarterbacks that I had gone. The only one that I had to pick up Bryce earlier. So
oh, we'll wish you the best there. But all right, and that's fantasy football with Edward. So,
sorry,
all
calling
right,
you. Sorry.
we're gonna take a break and then go into U.S. men's national team report.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
All right, guys, the U.S. men's national team have concluded their November call-ups. This was the final call-ups for the year, so no more call-ups till March. But yeah, we got to talk about this because this is probably one of the most positive of U.S. men's national team. Which I mean, I will say, last call-up was very positive as well. You guys don't remember? It was a draw to Ecuador, and then it was a win um, against Australia. So it was a very positive one. But this one, I don't know. I feel like this kind of opens up a lot to everybody, to all the hard work that Mauricio Pochettino has really done with this U.S. men's national team. Now, before we get in any of these games and everything like that, yes, we've all been critical. I don't think a single person wasn't critical of Mauricio Pochettino. Whether you felt about his pedigree as a coach, whether you felt about his approach to the U.S. men's national team with some of the interesting decisions on who he called up, how he approached the Nations League, how he approached the Gold Cup, all those things, man. I think this is, if there's a time to finally give the man, maybe not his flowers per se, but maybe, you know, see the vision that he was having. And like I said, like going into this call up, now that I'm trying to like wanting to understand Mauricio Pochettino, his approach, I was like, I'm just gonna go fully open and just embrace what is Mauricio Pochettino. And honestly, I think many should start doing that because it is a whole lot better than just being critical of every decision he makes. I think in some way, if you find a method to his madness, you really do see what he's trying to do. And I think the reality is clearly there is a culture before he came in that just wasn't good. It was not a good culture. And now he's finally I guess in some way, the culture's now starting to be bought in. The culture of Mauricio Pochettino. That, that South American, who gives a fuck who we're playing, we're going to beat the shit out of them mentality. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. But that's really what he wants. He wants guys that are going to fight every single time on the field. And literally, maybe even literally. But that's what I got from it. And I've been kind of just impressed every single time now since going to that route. And this is honestly taking a page out of Eric Winalda. So you can give props to Eric Winalda for basically kind of making me come in with a different viewpoint. Because I have been critical of Mauricio Pochettino. And it's because I want the U.S. men's national team to be good. Sue me, right? Like, I mean, as someone that is American, I would like to see my national team. I'm not going to say that the U.S. is going to win the World Cup. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But I would love to see them compete. I would love for them to gain respect. Just because we call this sport soccer versus everyone else in the world, even though Australia also calls it soccer. And I think Canada does too. Like, who cares? Like, let the game do its talking, and that's what I'm hoping to see. And I think it was really good that these friendlies were against teams like Paraguay and Uruguay, because I think that this is a good test to see what these guys can do against physical competition. And I think South America is a good indication of how physical can you be. And obviously, we're gonna have to. And I think Paraguay and Uruguay aren't slouches by any means. So yes, it's still friendlies and take it with a grain of salt, but still, these guys took it very much seriously, and I definitely felt that on the field when I was watching these games. Now, I do want to see eventually maybe some European competition, because obviously would like to see some sort of redemption after what we saw with Turkey and Switzerland. So I would definitely like to see how maybe another go around with a European nation. That's just my thoughts. And I think I think before they go into the World Cup, they will have a friendly against Germany, or at least that's what they're working on. I don't know if that's official yet. That would be a very interesting matchup, because at that point, both teams are trying to get mentally prepared for the World Cup. So that could be a good tone setter for what is the 2026 World Cup for the U.S. men's national team. Now, the games. First game was a 2-1 victory against Paraguay. USA had 57% of the possession. They outshot Paraguay 9-6 and had 5 shots on target to Paraguay's 2. The goals came from Giovanni Reina from the United States in the 4th minute. Arce did respond for Paraguay in the 10th minute, and then Balogun puts in the winner in the 71st minute for the U.S. men's national team. Now, there was a red card. There was a scuffle that happened amongst players. It was like Alex Freeman and a Paraguayan player. I think it was just he wanted to get the ball back in play, and the Paraguayan obviously doing just your typical time wasting. Or it could be the other way around. Don't quote me. But it did lead into a scuffle. And I will say, now I'm not saying, I want the U.S. men's national team to be fighting everybody literally. But one of the things that did piss me off, I will say, when they were playing, I believe it was in Mexico. And there was other reasons to be mad, because I think that was when Mauricio Pochettino let Christian Pulisic go back to AC Milan instead of playing that friendly, which I wasn't totally against it. We are talking about a friendly. I understand that it's against Mexico of all places, but still, it's a friendly. So I get that part. But one of the things that didn't sit well with me was when there was a moment that things got physical against Mexico, and it just didn't seem like anybody was willing to fight for their teammate. Fast forward to now, or in this game, there was Alex Freeman got into it with another player, and guys came up, got involved, and that, while once again, don't condone fighting, but it is an indication that these guys will literally fight for each other, and I think that is the mentality, the Latin American mentality. I mean, it's a mentality across the world, but being willing to fight for your team, stand up for your teammates. It is a good sign of a cohesive team. Not a great sign. I'm not. This isn't me applauding them being violent by any means, but once again, to stand up for your teammate, I think that is very important, and you would say for team cohesion, that's a good thing. So I will say that. The lineup for this one, they did go with the 3 in the back. It was the 3, kind of like the 3-4-2-1 formation, if you want to use that. So a back, obviously 3 center backs, 2 wing backs, 2 central midfielders, CDMs if you want to go there, and then 2 cams, and then obviously a lone striker. The fact that we saw it once again tells me that this is probably the lineup that Mauricio Pochettino will be primarily using, and he keeps testing it out, and I think clearly we have the players for it. So I think that's interesting to say that, and I think, and I'm sold now on this back 3 formation for the U.S. men's national team. I think with the level of athleticism that some of the players have for the U.S. team, that it actually just kind of makes sense for them. But at goalkeeper, Freeze, like I said, at this point, I don't see anybody else jumping over Matt Freeze. I think that he is a really good goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team. Is he an elite keeper? Absolutely not. Can someone jump over him? Probably. But I think right now he is just the guy that Mauricio Pochettino trusts, and I think that speaks volumes. I think he had his opportunity in the Gold Cup. He showcased it, and now that he has his opportunity as a starting goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team, he's not looking to give it up. And I think that's something that honestly, I wish some of these goalkeepers had that same mentality, because look, goalkeeper has been an issue. We didn't think it was. We thought Matt Turner was our guy, but clearly he was not. Zach Steffen had an opportunity, didn't pan out. Some people thought it was going to be Patrick Schulte. And who would have thought that Matt Freese would be the guy that saw his opening, went right in, and isn't looking to reopen that opportunity for anybody else. So I do believe Matt Freese will be our guy, bearing injuries. But yeah, I think that was good for him. It was good to keep him in. That's continuity. That's what's going to matter. And the back 3 was Miles Robinson, Tim Ream, and Joe Scally. Once again, we pointed out that Joe Scally did return to the U.S. men's national team. And I did mention that his ability to play as a center back and also as a wing back is going to offer him at least some value. Was he particularly great in this game? No. I think he still had the tendencies of a fullback, and obviously he would push up when ideally he probably shouldn't have, because when you have a guy like Sergino Dest, you kind of want to let that guy go up. So I think it did cause some issues. I think Joe Scally maybe just needs to get comfortable with being a center back more than a fullback. I think that's something that can improve in time. So I'm still very high on Joe Scally. I think his versatility in the defense is still going to be potentially good for him as long as he keeps playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I know that they're not in the best of form right now, but it's still a possibility to just keep him on the team. The wingbacks were Max Arfsten and Sergino Dest, which I'm not shocked. Sergino, really good. I think that he was held back a little bit, and that was just because of the whole thing I just said with Joe Scally. Max Arfsten, like I said, people can say what they want about Max Arfsten, but the kid has been one of those guys that I think benefited from his opportunity given from Mauricio Pochettino. He has done well with his opportunity, and I think honestly, as a wingback, not as a fullback, but as a wingback, he does get a good opportunity to showcase what he's really capable of, especially on the attacking side. So I think Arfsten I'm liking Arfsten. Obviously, getting Jedi back, Robinson back in the mix will probably be the other wing back, but I think Arfsten still gets a good shot for the U.S. men's national team. The midfield, I guess your CDMs were Christian Roldan and Tanner Tessman, and then up top as your cams was Brendan Aronson and Gio Reyna. And then at forward we had Folarin Balogun up top. The substitutes for this game was Diego Luna, Alex Freeman, Ricardo Pepi, Tim Tillman, not Malik Tillman, Tim Tillman, older brother of Malik Tillman, Aiden Morris, and I was going to say Greg, Sebastian Berhalter, son of Greg Berhalter. He did come into this game against Paraguay. Honestly, I think it was a really good performance. Kind of look, when you're going up against these like South American teams, it's gonna get kind of physical. Paraguay is really good defensively. Well, I'm not gonna say very good, but they're good defensively. And it was a good test for the U.S. men's national team to try to find their openings, and they took full advantage of it. I will say it's great to see Gio Reyna play and perform. Gio Reyna might be one of those guys that just maybe he's not great. He's not gonna be great in the club setting, but when he puts on his national team kit, he's just gonna flourish. I hope that's not the case, because obviously I would love to see him get regular play time wherever he plays at, because unfortunately I don't think he's getting much play time at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Probably more than Borussia Dortmund, and definitely a lot more than when he was at Nottingham. But I need to see Gio Reyna playing. I need him to get regular minutes, because this is coming from a guy that doesn't play as much for Gladbach, and if he can do this, let's see what happens when this guy actually gets like regular play time. So I was happy to see Gio Reyna score. Balogun continued to prove why he should be the starting nine for the U.S. men's national team. So all in all, pretty good performance for them. And
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
Then we go into Uruguay, and I will say, before we get into the statistics on the Uruguay game, the lineup was such an interesting decision for the lineup. He did rotate the squad out, which you should in friendlies, but it was, I think a lot of people, when they saw the lineup, they kind of automatically dubbed this a loss for the U.S. men's national team. And so at goalkeeper, you had Matt Freese. So, like I said, it doesn't matter how many goalkeepers, what goalkeepers you bring into these camps. It's going to be Matt Freese at this point. He's not letting go of his spot in between the sticks. The back line was Austin Trusty, Mark McKenzie, and Alex Freeman. Alex Freeman also can play center back, and I think that's going to add some more help his stake as getting a spot in the U.S. men's national team for the World Cup. Being versatile enough to play wing back and center back is going to just do good things for him. The wing backs was John Tolkien and Sergino Dest. Dest is going to play. John Tolkien was interesting. I don't think I was necessarily like wowed by him, which is crazy to say from this game, but all in all, not bad. Not a terrible option. But like I said, once we get Anthony Robinson back, I think Tolkien's probably going to be the odd man out. Midfield, we had Berhalter and Sebastian Berhalter and Aiden Morris as your CDMs, and then on the cams were Diego Luna and Tim Tillman. And then your starting forward was Haji Wright. I think the reason why Ricardo Pepi did not start was mainly because he did play in the Paraguay game, and I think Mauricio Pochettino just wanted to give Haji Wright some minutes, and I think, well, it was perfectly fine. So that was the lineup, and that everyone was just baffled. Everyone, like I said, saw that lineup and was like, "This isn't a good lineup." Clearly, everybody was wrong because of obviously what happened in the game. But before I get to that, the substitutes were Balogun, Tanner Tessman, Gio Reyna, Max Arfson, Brendan Aronson, and Christian Roldan were the substitutes in that game. But yeah, so the score was 5-1 against Uruguay. USA had 47% of the possession. They matched Uruguay with shots, which was 9 shots for both sides. But the U.S. had 7 shots to Uruguay's 3 shots. The goals did come from Sebastian Berhalter with just one of the greatest free kick goals, basically taking a page out of Toni Kroos from the 2018 World Cup. Was it 20? Yeah, it was the 2018 World Cup. Taking a page out of Toni Kroos, because that was basically what I felt, the vibe I got from that goal. Beautiful goal by Sebastian Berhalter. And then Alex Freeman comes in with 2 back-to-back goals in the 20th minute and the 31st. Diego Luna gets in the goals right before halftime. So, and then finally Uruguay scores. De Arrascaeta scored in the 45th minute in stoppage time. So to go into halftime being down 4-1, this was a tone setter of a half. Second half, Tanner Tessman comes in obviously and scores a goal in the 68th minute. And then there was a red card from Uruguay, which was in the 64th minute by Bentancur of Uruguay, who also plays for Tottenham. Look, say what you want. Uruguay probably didn't have like their typical guys you would expect to have in Uruguay, but at spin zone, neither did the U.S. Beside Freeze and Sergino Dest, most of the guys you aren't really sure are going to be starters for the U.S. men's national team come the World Cup, and they put up 4 goals on them. 4 unanswered goals were put up to Uruguay with those group of players. But once again, aside from Sergino Dest and Matt Freeze, the rest of these guys are still hoping to get are still fighting for a starting position or a spot in the World Cup. So that is insane. Which, like I said, this comes down credit to Pochettino, and we're gonna go right into the takeaways. I think Pochettino once again got these guys fighting, literally. But at the same time, there is a mentality in this team. There is a culture in this team. Pochettino is fighting for these guys. He got defensive over a comment that I kind of think he took out of context, but perfectly fine because, and I think that there was kind of, so the question that he was asked was kind of how this lineup featured guys that weren't regulars. And he took offense for that because he was like, what does that mean? And so contextually, I understand what he's fighting for. I think it was a hilarious misunderstanding, but he's fighting for his guys. He's like, no, these guys, I don't have regular players. I have the guys that I call up are there for a reason. And if I choose them to play, they play. Like he does, like essentially he was saying that I don't have favorites. Probably does have favorites, but he was kind of fighting for each one of his guys. Like, they're all here for a reason. I'm going to play them because that's who they are. And I think that was really funny for him to have that outburst, but that just shows how much he cares about these guys. So, like, and many of us had concerns about Pochettino, right? Like that, he's going to leave in a heartbeat the second, which, I mean, he still probably will. I mean, if he gets an opportunity, once again, to manage a big club, which, I mean, if he is able to show what he can with the World Cup, there's opportunities will come and knocking for him. Especially if he can do something with the U.S. men's national team. But he's here to build a culture, and he's building that culture. And guys are buying in. That's the best thing, that these guys are in fact buying in. You have Chris Richards that doesn't care about friendly or not friendly, that he's going to play. You have Pochettino saying that every game matters. He's instilling that in these guys, like, an opportunity to play for the U.S. men's national team shirt is all that matters. Who cares who we're playing? Who cares what tournament we're playing? All these matches matter. It does, and I think did it take him to sacrifice the Nations League? Did it take him to sacrifice the Gold Cup? Probably, but he got these guys playing with the right attitude. You have guys that, like I said, that Uruguay game, people were counting that team out already from the lineup. The second the lineup was announced, they already counted out the U.S. men's national team, including myself. And look what they did. And you can say, well, they didn't really play Uruguay. That's fine. They really didn't play the U.S. But there is a mentality. And I think that is especially going into right now when the next call ups are going to be in March. Like, this is a lot of positive to take to go into March, to go into that final stretch of international breaks come to the World Cup by the time the World Cup is. The second takeaway I want to say is Gio Reyna, a goal against Paraguay and assist against Uruguay. A lot of people will have questions about Gio Reyna. Obviously, Gio Reyna went on that interview to talk about just him wanting to continue to play. Obviously, talked about the whole Greg Berhalter drama thing that happened. But the kid wants to play. The kid wants to prove himself. And I'm glad that he got this opportunity to showcase what he can do for the U.S. men's national team. Because once again, he is probably one of our better players. And despite all that he's gone through, I think that I'm glad that he's got a shot, and he took full advantage of it. Which is kind of becoming the theme with these guys, right? Like, when they get their opportunities, they're not looking. They want that opportunity to become a permanent thing. And I think Gio Reyna very much, he saw his opportunity and he took it. And I think he is definitely under the watchful eye of Mauricio Pochettino because of it. My other takeaway is obviously no Christian Pulisic, no Tim Weah, no Weston McKennie, no Tyler Adams, no Malik Tillman. And that's actually a good thing. They're not dependent on these guys. And that is a good thing. Meaning, when these guys do come in, and obviously, I do believe at this point these guys are bought in. I do think so. I think Pulisic is bought in. I think Weah is bought in. McKennie's bought in. It's an infectious thing. I look back at all the guys, whenever I talk to like players, you want to play with the best. And I think when these guys watching how this U.S. men's national team have been playing, they're like, sign me up, man, put me in. Like, I'm ready to fight with these guys. Like, I mean, especially like with the guys that have mentality like Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams and Tim Weah, like Malik Tillman, especially those guys, man. Those guys are the guys that I will say can be impactful for the U.S. men's national team. And to see that, hey, it's not just us carrying the load. That's a huge weight off their shoulders, man. So that is going to be awesome. I can't wait when we have these guys available to play with this group of players. Like, it's just, especially if they're bought in, it does get you excited. Obviously, earlier in this episode, I did say that amongst the three host nations, I'm more comfortable saying the U.S. men's national team will go far. It is because of what happened here. Now, can things change and March goes back to shit? Probably. Sorry for Cousin Kelsey. Probably. But, I mean, with all the stuff that's going on with Mexico, and like I said, I haven't really been keeping track of Canada, but I haven't heard anything like a positive besides they did have a good win against Venezuela, so I will consider that. But, I mean, yeah, they're looking great. And as a matter of fact, Mexico played Uruguay and Paraguay. They drew with Uruguay and they lost to Paraguay. I mean, it's apples and oranges. These are friendlies, and I get all those things. But, when you're seeing people are buying in with the U.S. and Mexico players are complaining that the Mexican fans are booing them, I mean, you can understand why I feel the way I feel. But if I had to give a grade for this one, it's a fucking A. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. It's an A. This was a great call. This was a great international call up. The fact that once again we went, I know I might be playing an old record at this point, right? I might be being a dead horse, but when you saw the lineup for that U.S. men's national team for Uruguay, you were like, we're gonna lose. We're not gonna win. We're not going to beat Uruguay. Uruguay is a really good national team. Obviously, they do really well in the World Cup. They, all those things. And they win and put 4 goals on them in the first half. That's mentality. That's, I don't give a shit who we're playing. And that's infectious. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm really happy with this, man. So I can't wait. All right, guys, we'll take a break and then go right into MLS Cup Playoffs.
Fight and win!
All right, guys. San Diego FC just beat Minnesota United 1-0. It is 11:18. It's still Monday. Well, when I'm recording this. So, and I gotta be up early in the morning to work. So, but it is what it is, man. So, MLS Cup playoffs, and quarterfinals are done, and we're on to the semifinals. Okay, correction. The conference semifinals have concluded. Now we're going to conference finals. But let's be honest, it's quarterfinals and semifinals. I don't know why we had to do this, but anyways. All right, so starting with the Western Conference, Vancouver Whitecaps beat LAFC 2-2, go to penalties 4-3. This was by far the best matchup. Vancouver had a really good 2-0 lead, only for LAFC to come back. Now, there is a red card for Vancouver, so that is going to be, let me see, who was it? Who was it that got the red card? I think it's somebody, I'm pretty sure it's Tristan Blackman. I think it's Tristan Blackman, actually. Let's see. Yeah, it's Tristan Blackman. So pretty big, significant loss for Vancouver. But despite that, still were able to get force it to penalties, and they handled the rest from there on out. But I think a good game. I mean, as far as like exercising your demons, that's definitely the game that you did it, because Vancouver has struggled against LAFC in playoff games, and they finally did it. Vancouver went wild. It was a crazy match, but a really great one. I do say it was one of the it was the best matches of all these playoff games for the quarterfinals. But yeah, they move on. And like I said, first place San Diego FC beat fifth place Minnesota United 1-0. Props to Minnesota, man. They put in a really good defensive shift. Made it hard for quite some time for San Diego. But I mean, Anders Dreyer, dude's solid, man. I think one of the best acquisitions from any MLS team. This guy literally leaves the Belgium league, and it paid off for him. I mean, the guy's getting called up again from the Danish national team. So I mean, just what an investment. And you think a team that got Chucky Lozano, that this would be Chucky Lozano's team, and it's very much become Dreyer's team. I know he's not going to win MLS MVP. He should. It's going to be messy, but yeah, Dreyer definitely like one of a great player, and I really wish he was gonna get MVP, because I think he deserves a really good shout for MVP. But once again, it's Lionel Messi, and there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, props to Minnesota. I was really critical about them going into this matchup just because I wasn't really I was just not sold on the way they've been performing. But there's a reason why they made it here, and that's because that defense is that defense is quite annoying. Sorry for yawning. It is almost 11:30. But yeah, so that is San Diego's moving on to the semifinals to take on Vancouver, and we'll get into that in a bit. In the East, third place Inter Miami beats FC Cincinnati 4-0. Yeah. Cincinnati just went quiet, man. Evander went quiet. Danke went quiet. Brenner went quiet. And it's Inter Miami. Lionel Messi, of course, scores goals. And they didn't have Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez wasn't on the field. So Inter Miami, man, they look strong. They look strong. It's going to take something big to eliminate them. But FC Cincinnati, I mean, they're not. It's not like they're out of it. But I think that it's definitely they need to do some some deep searching to figure out what's wrong with that. What went wrong in that game. I will say, I don't remember the correspondent for Apple TV, but shut the fuck up. Sorry for cussing, but shut the fuck up. Um, eh, everyone always has to say something about. So if you guys don't know, in football and in sports in general, um, players do a jersey swap. Players swap kits out of respect. Obviously, Lionel Messi's there. You're gonna want to swap kits with Lionel Messi and Teenage DB, I believe, swap kits with Lionel Messi, and obviously Orellano. Look, Orellano also gave Messi his kit. I'm sure he got also a Messi kit. I'm pretty sure everybody in FC Cincinnati got a Messi kit. But Teenage DB and I believe Orellano were the ones that got game worn kits. If you guys don't know, obviously I can tell you because I was an equipment manager for the Dynamo. Um, Players get 2 game kits per match. One that they normally wear for the first half, and then one for the second half. Prime example, Hector Herrera. He normally likes giving his kits to people. So his second half kit, obviously, he does an exchange on the field, but the next kit is one he gives to somebody else as well. So it's just a typical thing. It's not outside the realm of possibility. But yeah, the analyst was talking about how embarrassing it is to do it after a 4-0. Look, it's not a good look. I get it, but at the same time, it happens everywhere. It happens in the World Cup. People get eliminated in World Cup. In the elimination, in the knockout rounds of the World Cup, and they still do jersey swaps, kit swaps. So I don't know. Eat a dick. I don't really know what to tell you at this point. People are gonna do this. Like get fucking used to it. I guess. Sorry for cousin Kelsey, but like it's one of those dumb takes that it's low hanging fruit. It's gonna happen. I would probably argue that's more annoying than the person that says act like you've been there. Because it's up there for me with one of the biggest dumbest complaints. Who cares? So I don't remember who it was. Frankly, I don't give a shit. Sorry for cousin Kelsey, but it's whatever, man. But yeah, Inter Miami moves on, knocking out FC Cincinnati. So now Inter Miami. Well, we'll get into it because Inter Miami now has a home game for the semifinals. Because 5th place New York City FC beats Philadelphia Union 1-0. And it was just, you lose Alonso Martinez. Is it Alonso? Is it? Oh, man, dude, I am just, let me see. I'm pretty sure it is Alonso Martinez. Yeah, Alonso Martinez. You lose Alonso Martinez, and I mean, it wasn't a pretty game, but once NYCFC got their goal, they just did what they can to stay good defensively and just become a thorn to the side of Philadelphia. Philadelphia just couldn't get anything going. Yeah, good performance for NYCFC, and now they continue on. And for Philadelphia Union, maybe it is a supporter shield. Honestly, at this point, I think it is a supporter shield. Philadelphia was, to me, besides Vancouver, was probably the most complete team in Major League Soccer. And that supporter shield curse, man, that is a son of a bitch. I mean, the supporters that created that thing have to be man, we really fucked somebody over with this thing. But I do believe there has been I could be wrong. Maybe there has been a supporter shield winner that's won the MLS Cup, but hasn't happened recently. And the supporter shield curse, if you're someone that wants to use that, talk about, speaking of low hanging fruit, the supporter shield curse is the ultimate just trump card to use. And yeah, it happened again. NYCFC moving on. And so the semifinals, starting with the West, is first place San Diego FC taking on second place Vancouver Whitecaps. This is This is gonna be good. I'm being honest with you. I'm biased with Vancouver. I think Vancouver is the most complete team in MLS. I know what I said about Philadelphia, but like watching Vancouver, they're just every all facets of the game. Now the concern with Vancouver is definitely Tristan Blackman. Not having him is going to be a loss, but I think the way this team is mentally set, I think that they can go up against anybody. San Diego FC, like I mean, it clearly shows what happens when you go up against a team that can defensively that can prepare defensively against you. They can be quiet. I mean, I'm not gonna underestimate Andres Dreyer and Chucky Lozano and all the other guys that they have in the attacking side, but Vancouver is really good defensively, and they can pay and they can make you pay on the attack. So I'm gonna say Vancouver makes it to the final. I think they're a really good team. They prove to be really good in these type of knockout situations. They went all the way to the final in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And yeah, I think Vancouver has a good shot at making it to the MLS Cup. On the East, we got third place Inter Miami taking on fifth place NYCFC. This is as David versus Goliath as it gets, man. NYCFC, it is crazy that they're here. But hey, we said the same thing about Red Bull New York last year. It's crazy how they got there, but yeah, they're gonna have to go through something really tough. They're going into Miami. I don't even think Miami expected to be hosting a semifinal because of just once again it was the way Philadelphia has been. But this is just like the best scenario for Inter Miami. Like you're gonna dictate. I mean, at this point, it's gonna be played in the West. Like the final is gonna be in the West. I believe the host is the higher seed team. So like Vancouver, it's either gonna be in San Diego or Vancouver, the final. But like Inter Miami, you get a chance to win the East in front of your fans. I think the crowd's gonna be intense. NYCFC. I mean, look, they went into Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not a joke either. But man, like you're asking about another upset, and could it happen? Probably. I mean, I think a lot of MLS fans are gonna be rooting for Inter Miami to not win this. I guess technically I should be too because I do have a jersey bet on this, but yeah, it's gonna be tricky, man. I don't see. I think it's gonna be Inter Miami. We're gonna have a Vancouver Whitecaps Inter Miami final. I really think so. I think that Vancouver is just the best team in my opinion, and then Inter Miami is just inevitable. Yeah, they didn't make it last year, but this team, they were bound to win an MLS Cup. Is it gonna be this year? I kind of hope not, just for the sake of my bank account. But yeah, I think that's going to be the final matchup. So my prediction is Vancouver beating San Diego and Inter Miami beating NYCFC. Maybe boring picks, but you know what? I like their odds, man. I really do, and we'll see what happens, man. I think that's going to be one hell of an MLS Cup final, though. I will say that for a fact. But all right, that is MLS Cup, and we will go into Liga MX playoffs.
I'm a pupusa man myself. Better than tacos to me. I gotta go with them.
All right, guys, Liga MX. The play-in has concluded, and so we'll go right into the play-in recap. So the 9th and 10th place game, Pachuca did beat Pumas 3-1, and Tijuana in 7th place beat FC Juarez 8th place FC Juarez 3-1 as well. So once again, Tijuana now plays the 2nd place team, which is Tigres. And now Juarez, even though they lost, has to play the winner of Pachuca and Pumas, which was Pachuca. So they are playing to see who plays against the 1st place team, which is Toluca. And Juarez beat Pachuca 2-1 to play against 1st place Toluca. So that is the play-in round recap. Look, at this point, I think I've said it. I'm not a fan of this play-in round. It's kind of, I guess it's a way to punish the guys that barely scrapped through, and I get it, but I don't think this is really making this any interesting. I don't think this adds any drama. Though I will say I can't say that that no team that has played in the play-in haven't won Liga MX because Club America was a play-in team and they won Liga MX. But it's also an anomaly because it's Club America of all teams. But I will say I don't know if any fan is like necessarily sold on this format. And I mean, of all things, now when we look at the table for the quarterfinals, it looks like if the table would have just finished, we got the matchups. Like if you just didn't include the 9th and 10th place team, we got exactly what we would have gotten anyways. Now, it's not always going to be the case. We've had those one-off matches where the 10th seed beats the 9th and even somehow beats the team that, and we've seen the 8th place team beat the 7th place team. Like we've seen those scenarios before. I mean, we've had this format for a while now. But it's just, I don't know. It's just not for me. I don't think I'm a minority here. Which is funny because, obviously I support MLS and I like MLS and I complain about their playoff format. And then now here I am with Liga MX, and I'm also not happy with their playoff format. I'm fine with the playoff format because once again, Mexico does a playoff format, USA does MLS does a playoff format. Hell, El Salvador, that's the country where my family's from, their league does a playoff format. So for me, it's not foreign. A playoff format isn't foreign to me. But it's got to make sense at some point, man. So that's my only gripe with it. But we are in the quarterfinals. So for those of you guys who don't really know Liga MX, the quarterfinals from here to all the way to the final, including the final, are 2 legs. So they play 2 games. Winner of the aggregate advances on to the next round. Now, in the event of a tie on aggregate, you would think they would go to extra time until someone wins. No, that is not the case. In the event of a tie on aggregate, the higher seed automatically advances. So, for instance, if Cruz Azul and Chivas de Guadalajara draw on aggregate 2-2, Cruz Azul advances to the next round. Chivas gets eliminated. That's also I also am not a fan of this. That's just personally me. But like I said, I do like Liga MX. I do love the playoffs. I do love this time of the year for Liga MX. It's a lot of fun. So let's get into the quarterfinals, man. Let's just get into it. First matchup is first place Toluca versus 8th place Juarez. Obviously, Toluca has been one of the better teams this year for Liga MX. Really solid all-around team. So can Juarez come in and upset? It could happen. Obviously, once again, repeating in Liga MX is not the easiest thing to do. But Toluca is playing very much lights out right now, and Juarez just had to play 2 matches, and that should take into account, especially when you're playing against a team like Toluca. So I expect Toluca to advance. I know that's a boring pick. I would be intrigued to somehow find a way to tell you that FC Juarez is going to advance, but when you've already played 2 games, it's kind of tricky. Also, I should probably mention, by the time this drops, the first legs have probably already been played. So I'm just gonna let you guys know right then and there. But all right, next matchup is second place Tigres taking on 7th place Tijuana. This matchup is pretty interesting to me. Tigres is also a very well-rounded team and a really good unit. Tijuana, they're scrappy. They are a scrappy team. Obviously, when you think of Tijuana, you think of Gilberto Mora, who is a fun watch. If you guys haven't been watching this kid is really solid. I can't wait to see how he progresses in his career. But yeah, I just, beside that, I don't see anything. Like I said, I can't see any way where Tigres doesn't show out because they have been really good this season. But you never know. You never know in Liga MX. But I'm gonna stay boring. Tigres moves on. I want Juarez and Tijuana to upset. I would love to see that. Once again, these guys are playing well. Maybe not so much Tijuana. Tijuana only played 1 game, but I think they got a good amount of rest. FC Juarez are not. So that is really the challenge, the dilemma. I will say, if I had to pick which one would more likely beat their matchup, I would say Tijuana. But like I said, Tigres is just a loaded team. They are loaded. They are very solid. They're a really good unit. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. And also their home field is insane. Um, Next matchup is third place Cruz Azul taking on sixth place Chivas de Guadalajara. I would love to tell you that somehow Chivas de Guadalajara goes in and beats Cruz Azul, and it could happen. I know that a lot of Cruz Azul fans view their team as a curse. They're cursed in the playoffs, even though they finally did beat those demons. But Cruz Azul has been playing really well. They've looked really solid. But no, look, I get it. I'm being boring, and I don't like that I'm being boring. But I'm gonna pick Cruz Azul. I'm gonna pick Cruz Azul to advance to the next round. And then the last matchup is fourth place Club America versus fifth place Monterrey. I will say of all the matches, this is probably the most even matchup. And I did highlight early in the last time I talked about Liga MX that this is probably the matchup I'm gonna watch anyways because it is Club America and it is Monterrey, two of the biggest clubs in Mexico, two of the biggest followings here in the U.S. for these two teams. Specifically where I live in the U.S., there's a lot of people from Monterrey, and obviously America, they're just a big club. They're DF. It's DF. Club America is always a threat in this thing. Like I say this a lot, not because partially because I want to jinx them, but secondly, they're just really good. They're just a really good team. They know how to win Liga MX. But on the flip side, you do have Monterrey, who are also really good. Obviously, they have Sergio Ramos. They have a lot of really good guys, a lot of Spanish influence on that team. Not saying that makes them better by any means, but and despite Anthony Martial being just completely ass for Monterrey, they still are a pretty good team. I would say this is get your popcorn ready because I hope I'm pulling that this is going to be the better matchup. Also, like the thing that scares me about the second leg, and the thing that scares me most about recording this, knowing that I'm not going to be able to, basically, I might have to eat some of my words at this point, is because who knows if there's a blowout by the time this episode drops. But Monterrey, honestly, I'm feeling it. I'm gonna pick Monterrey to beat Club America. So I'm gonna say that's and it's not really an upset pick because once again, fourth and fifth I feel like are fairly even. So that's not really like an upset pick by any means. But who I have advancing is Toluca, Tigres, Cruz Azul, and Monterrey to the semifinals. It's gonna go by quick, man. Liga MX, they go by pretty quick. It feels. You think you just started the play, and next thing you know, you're in the final. So I can't wait to continue watching this amazing insanity that is Liga MX. And I hope you guys do too, because like I said, it's a fun league. Watch it, especially if you live in the U.S., because it's not that big of a time zone change. So watch these games, man. It's fun, it's entertaining. The crowds are amazing. I love the fandom in Mexico. Can be a bit intense at times, but still, it's such a great league, and go watch it, man. That's all I'm saying. Go watch it. Just go watch it. Enjoy it. Watch it. Love it. But all right, that's Liga MX. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, and then go right into Players of the Week.
I love soccer, Peggy.
All right, guys. Players of the Week is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing ticketing site. It is where me and Edward get all our tickets for all live events, from concerts to sporting events. SeatGeek has you covered. It has a simple grading system. If it has using colors and numbers, if the number is really low and the color is super red, that means for that price, for that event, you're not getting a great deal, man. Keep scrolling, you'll find one better. If it's super green and a high score, that means for those seats for that event, buy these tickets now and enjoy your event. Me and Edward love the simplicity of SeatGeek, and Spencer does too. And if you guys aren't sold just yet, for first-time users, use that code BELLYUPSPORTS and save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek Live event. We have the tickets. My player of the week is Eberiche Eze, a.k.a. Easy, who scored a hat-trick in Arsenal's 4-1 victory against Tottenham. Because fuck Tottenham. Sorry for Cousin Kelsey, but fuck Tottenham. Sorry for Cousin Kelsey. That once again, if I was talking about it with Edward earlier in the episode, but got to go Velvet Oak Tavern. That is the home of the Arsenal support group, H-Town Gooners. I know the Gooner. I know gooning means something else now these days, but to those guys, fuck you. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey, but a Gooner is an Arsenal supporter, and that's not. I'm not looking to change that anytime soon. But I was there, got to hang out with some other Arsenal supporters, and had a great time singing some Arsenal songs, and it was the best, man. I'm glad I was there for that ass kicking of Tottenham. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So, and Eze definitely had his moment, which is great. It's funny, like, there's just things that you just love about football, and this is one of those moments. Obviously, throughout the summer, Eze was very much linked to going to Tottenham. Everything seemed like it was set in stone that he was going to Tottenham. He was leaving Crystal Palace to go play for Tottenham, and then out of nowhere, Arsenal just swooped right in and brings Eze over to Arsenal, and then scores a hat trick against Tottenham. You just can't make this up, man. It was really poetic, and I love every minute of it. And it was his first Premier League hat trick of all things too. So shout out to Eze. And Edwards Player of the Week is Michael Olise, who scored 2 goals and 3 assists. Good God. In Bayern Munich's 6-2 victory against SC Freiburg. The man was involved with almost all the goals except for one. This dude, probably one of the best signings that Bayern Munich has ever had. I believe Olise is also a former Crystal Palace player. So, look at that. Let me see. Let me verify that. I believe Michael Olise was with. Let me see. Because he was with Crystal. Yeah, he was with Crystal Palace. So, yeah. So full circle moment there. 2 former Crystal Palace guys getting Players of the Week, man. So congratulations once again to Ezzy and Olise for being our Players of the Week. Once again, guys, go to SeatGeek.com, use that code BellyUpSports, and save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek Life's an event. We have the tickets. All right, guys, games to watch this weekend. Obviously, Liga MX playoffs, MLS Cup playoffs, MLS Cup playoff semifinals. So we'll see who, those are going to be some good matches right there. In Ligue 1, we got AS Monaco taking on PSG and Lorient taking on Nice. In the Bundesliga, we got Borussia Mönchengladbach taking on RB Leipzig. Maybe Gio Reyna can use all the momentum that he had with the USMNT national team. Hopefully get some playing time. And Bayer Leverkusen taking on Borussia Dortmund. Should be a good one there in the Bundesliga. In the Serie A, we got AC Milan taking on Lazio and AS Roma taking on Napoli. Roma looks really good. Gasperini. GOAT. In La Liga, we got Mallorca taking on Osasuna and El Clásico in Sevilla. Sevilla versus Real Betis. This is a really good rivalry. I recommend you guys check it out. In the Premier League, we got Sunderland taking on Bournemouth and another London derby, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Can Arsenal get the London double? Well, there's a few other London teams in the Premier League, but obviously this is about the big 3, which I don't know why we consider Tottenham, but they're there. So, Chelsea, Arsenal. Can Arsenal do it again? Can the boys do it again? I believe this time they're going to be in Stamford Bridge, so that will be a challenge in its own right. But can they do it? Can they get enough to end the London derbies on some positive notes? We'll find out. But obviously, that's not all the games that are being played this weekend. But if you need a good beginner's guide, I think we gave you guys some good matchups to go check out. At the end of the day, as long as you're watching football, man, that's all that really matters. But we'll go ahead and take one final break, and then we will wrap this show up.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to episode 240. Jesus Christ, 240. Give a shout out to Belly Up Sports. Check out their website, bellyupsports.com. Follow them on Instagram or X at Belly Up Sports. Lots of great articles constantly being written. Obviously, NFL season is going pretty strong. You got college football. Coaches are getting fired in college football. Coaches are getting fired in the NFL. NBA, NHL, obviously, soccer is also going on. UFC, there's a lot of sports going on, man. Make sure you guys check out Belly Up Sports. You are in the know of all things. It is the internet sports bar for all we know. Goals TV, man. Once again, they don't have a website. The website is no longer there, but you can still follow them on X at goals_TV and on Instagram at goals.tv. And also subscribe to their YouTube channel, man, so you can see all the content that they're going to be pushing out over there on Goals. So Goals TV as well on YouTube. Check it out, man. You will see me there from time to time, especially on Wake Up MLS. And, of course, we cannot talk about this show without the one, the only, Roosevelt Spencer. He is so important to us that he is the namesake of our Player of the Year award, the Roosevelt Spencer Player of the Year award, the award we give to the best player, at least from what we voted for in the season. But he is the guy that makes the intros, the outros for this podcast. If you are looking for some beats, either you are a podcaster yourself or you're a YouTuber, look, man, that copyright strike sucks. So we recommend Spencer, man. He will take great care of you like he always does with us. And, shoot him up on Instagram at thatguydope. Once again, at thatguydope. Send him a message. Tell him, hey, the guys from Insert NFC sent me over here. Please help us. And he will take great care of you like he always does with us. So, thank you, Spencer. And for everyone else, have a happy Thanksgiving. And, yeah, be thankful and spend time with family and friends. And, yeah, make it special. So, with all that being said, thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week. Take care, guys.